Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk. So, you guys, I wanted to quickly shout out this guy's channel. He's not an addict, but he has a channel where he has people on who struggle with the disease of addiction come and tell their story. And his name is Shane Reinert. I talked to him last night for about an hour and told my story, and he just uploaded it today. Hey, Cindy. And it's good. It's good. A good channel. If you're like if you like to listen to story time videos like I do, like people tell their recovery story, you will love his channel. So I just wanted to shout his channel out. Hey, Michaela, and let you guys know to go over there and check it out. And if you're an addict and you're in recovery and you want to share your experience, strength, and hope, he's always looking for people to come on and share their stories. So if any of you guys want to story on his channel, all you have to do is message me and I will get you in contact with him. Sorry, I'm literally like just got done mopping the floor. It was a mess. Hey, Hacking Hippie. Oh, is Annie here? I'll link it down below when I this video. You guys come back to this video and I will link his channel in the comment section down below. But you guys will really like his channel. I love going over there. Hey, Tracy. Girl, it is so bad over here. I have 4 dogs, so I just got done. I'm sweating, spraying bleach and mopping, spraying bleach and then mopping. You should see me. I'm like... But it had to be done. It had to be done. I got home and my husband was vacuuming and like straightening up, and I just got inspired. I said, well, let me help you out now. So I have a lot. This house is my mother-in-law's house and we rent it from her. And I just have like a lot of clutter everywhere. And so when we move out and we get our own place, we're probably going to downsize, and like get rid of a lot of the toys that Nate has, because I don't know about you guys, but whenever I got sober, I had so much guilt and shame around the fact that I used drugs when I was pregnant with my son, and the fact that my son got taken away from me, that when I got sober and I was able to afford it, I just started buying my son like toys after toys after toys after toys. So I have boxes and buckets full of toys like that in every corner of my house. And my son literally has every toy known to man. And so it's hard because I'm trying to get away from that and, stop doing that and saying no whenever he asks for toys. And I've gotten a lot better, but when I get better and, my husband lets up and, ends up letting him have the toys. So it's just like, kid, I'm telling you what, kid, he's a lucky little boy. But last night, I told my story over on Shane's channel, and you guys know how I am. I got super emotional and cried a little bit. And when I was telling my story, you guys, I was thinking, because when I'm telling my story, I don't write it down. I don't like practice it. I just tell it, okay? Because I lived it, I can remember it. And what I was actually realizing when I was telling the story this time was how progressive the disease of addiction it was for me, and how each time I relapsed and I went back out, I got worse. So I relapsed I've been to 5 treatment centers, so I know I've relapsed 5 times. Let me think. So, hey, Ian. I've been to 5 rehabs and I've been to prison once. So that's five relapses, okay? 5 relapses just coming out of treatment. And so let's assume that every time I got out of treatment, I tried to stay sober, which is true, okay? I went to 5 rehabs and prison once, so that's 6 stays out of town, into rehab. And 5 of those times I relapsed. This last time I've stayed sober. And each time I relapsed, it got worse. each time I came back from a relapse, or each time I went back out and relapsed, I got deeper into my addiction. And so I don't know if you guys were on my live stream yesterday, but I was talking to everybody. Hey, Big Easy. I was talking to everybody about how I'm going to start a new series on my channel. And so this new series is going to be a series of story times every Wednesday. And what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you guys in chronological order the progressiveness of my addiction. Now that I look back on it, because hindsight's 2020, I can see how each time I went into treatment and got out, my addiction was worse when I got out than when I went in. So I'll kind of start you guys out. So the first time I ever went to treatment was back in 2004, I think. And it was at Quapaw House, which is a really good treatment center in Hot Springs, Arkansas. At this time, I was still on my parents' insurance. I had just turned, I think, 21. And I was still on my parents' insurance, so I was able to go to this treatment center. It's pretty nice. And I went in because I was addicted to pain pills, Xanax, and methamphetamine. The drug that I was really heavily abusing was Xanax and methamphetamine at that time. I was using pain pills a lot, but if I had to choose between drugs and you asked me, hey, what's your drug of choice at that time, I would have told you methamphetamine. So I went into that treatment center, and that's where I met my best friend, Scott, this gay guy that I've been friends with for years, and he's finally sober too. And Miss Edith was my counselor. Miss Edith and Mr. Woody. And Woody was like, he had long hair. He was a little old man, like a hippie guy. And Miss Edith was this black lady. She had braids, and she was tough. She was a recovering crack addict, and she was a prostitute when she was in her active addiction. So she didn't play no games. And when I came in, she could see right through me. She knew that I was going to be trouble from the get-go. So when I got there, you know me, I was trying to sleep the first week that I was there, and they were like, honey, you gonna come in here, you gonna do some chores. So they assigned me and Scott to the kitchen. So me and Scott had to do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so every morning we would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and make breakfast for everybody. And it was, you guys, I have such fond memories of the times I went to treatment, because they were small, short intervals of my life where I was sober, and where I could make healthy, happy relationships. Me and Scott would be in there, and we would turn on Madonna. Like a virgin, he touched for the very first time. Like a virgin. Okay, and we would dance, and we would Vogue. Come on, Vogue. Let your body move with the music. Okay, we would have so much fun, you guys. So much fun. And we would cook pancakes and hash browns and eggs and bacon. I mean, y'all know, I would throw down. We would make a whole spread for everybody in the rehab. And so we stayed in the kitchen. Normally, when you're in treatment, they would they would let you like change chores each week. No, ma'am. Not me and Scott. We were in the kitchen for the whole 30 days that we stayed in the treatment. And we both ended up staying an extra 3 days. We stayed 33 days because we wanted to leave at the same time. That's how close we got when we were in there, you guys. So I went in, with a really bad popping pill habit and methamphetamine smoking habit. This is before I started shooting up. And when I came out, Scott went into a halfway house, and I was going to stay sober. Like, I knew I was going to stay sober. I had every intention of staying sober, you guys. Let me really be honest with you guys. I was still very young, and I still very much enjoyed getting high. At this time, I hadn't had any consequences yet. I hadn't lost any jobs. I hadn't been put in jail. I hadn't been in any trouble. So drugs and alcohol were still working for me. And I really, really enjoyed getting high. I loved smoking meth. So when I got out, Scott started going to meetings, so I would go with him. to these NA meetings. And I got a sponsor. I'll tell you guys. Her name's Candace Regal. And Candace had just gotten out of prison, and she was in prison for methamphetamine, cooking methamphetamine. And she had just gotten out, and me and her, I hadn't actually met her when she was in the treatment center. She was coming in there to bring a meeting. And so when she came in there to bring the meeting, I said, will you be my sponsor? And she said yes. And so I started out on the right foot when I came out, but I still didn't have like that willingness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that getting sober was what I needed to do, but I still really liked getting high. And like I said, I wasn't having any consequences yet. So, I probably made it maybe 90 days, 60 to 90 days sober, and I relapsed. Me and Scott one day went out and we got pain pills together, and we never came back. We went out and got some pain pills, and that's what me and Cindy were just talking on the phone with you guys, and that's what kind of like prompted this story time. So me and Cindy were on the phone, and she was telling me a story about how when she used to pop pain pills, and we were just laughing. And so I used to do the same thing. So me and Scott went and got pain pills, and I would take so many at one time, like 10 Norco 10s or 10 big old giant, those damn Lortabs. I don't even know why I took those. They suck so hard. And you guys got to remember, this is before I started shooting dope. So I'm still popping them, right? This is the beginning of my addiction. And so I would pop these pills, and then I would gag because my stomach would be so empty that I would throw the pills back up whole. I'd see them on the ground. There'd be a pill, and just like a pile of like bile. And I'd pick them bitches up, wipe them off, and swallow them again. Now, y'all better not lie. How many of you guys have thrown your pills up whole and then picked them back up and swallowed them? Bitch, I ain't wasting that shit. And so that's what me and Scott were constantly buying pills and just eating them whole. And at that time, I was working, like I told you guys, at JCPenney. And JCPenney was such a cool job because I was a makeup artist at JCPenney. I got to do people's makeup. And I'm not a makeup artist that went to school, you guys, like self-taught. So I guess I couldn't call myself a makeup artist, but you know how people are on YouTube. They call themselves self-taught makeup artists. So I got hired at JCPenney to do people's makeup and stuff. And I loved that job. But I also loved smoking meth. And so I would smoke meth and go in and tweak all day long at work. I still did amazing makeup. And again, here the way I'm talking to you guys, this is the way I thought in my mind. Like, I'm not doing a bad job. I don't look high. I'm fine. Nobody even knows. Right? Wrong. Everybody knew I was high, you guys. Everybody. They just really... They couldn't come out and say, hey, are you getting high at my job? You know, they weren't going to do that. So what they did was they watched me. And eventually my addiction got to the point when I was working there, because I worked there for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, where I was starting to take things. Or I was starting to, be careful, I was starting to do people's makeup and then like take payment for it and pocket the money. And I ended up getting in trouble. I ended up getting caught at my job and totally getting in trouble and having to pay restitution to JCPenney. And so a lot of the things that I did when I was in active addiction that were criminal things, I ended up getting into trouble for, you guys. And that's why it's been very difficult for me when I was looking for a job to find employment, because I did get in trouble for a lot of like thievery.
Be a good boy, okay?
Hey, did you eat anything?
Huh?
Did you eat anything?
Yeah, I ate pancakes.
You don't want to eat chicken? Okay, all right, love you.
I'll probably eat it for...
Excuse me?
Can we eat all the tubes?
Hold on, baby. Yeah, let me fold this laundry. So,
How did he know he was going to say it?
what?
Pictures.
No.
Daddy's going to work. So, I was working there and I was doing I felt like I was doing a good job. And let me tell you guys, like, when I say I was doing such a good job, like, that was the delusion that I had, okay? I was high. So I might have been second, you know, but I don't know, because I thought I was doing well, because I was, you know, because I was on drugs. So I ended up getting fired from JCPenney, you guys. And, man, I remember when I got fired. That was devastating. That was the first job I ever lost because of my addiction. So once I got fired from there, I went and got a job at this place called Shoe Carnival, okay? Oh, I loved working for Shoe Carnival, you guys. I actually got promoted pretty quickly to the floor supervisor, and snorting and smoking meth. Actually, me and the girls at work would do lines of methamphetamine on the back of the toilet at work. So crazy. We had no cares in the world. Like, we were going to do what we wanted to do. And still at this point, like I was saying,
I can't step on the ground.
okay, okay, go upstairs. Drugs and alcohol were still working for me. Like, I was still, hey Ellie, I was still getting that feeling that I wanted. I was still like not having, like, I lost my job, you guys, but like, you know, when you're in your active addiction, you talk yourself into it. Like, oh, it wasn't my fault. They just didn't like me. I would sit there and I would think of those kind of things and make excuses in my mind of why, I got fired and shouldn't have gotten fired. Okay. So losing a job. Okay. And so I got out of treatment, got a job. Now I lost my job. And so the addiction is progressing, and I'm making excuses, and I'm making excuses for the reasons why I'm losing my job.
Did you have these for yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Why did you not get one for my dad?
Sorry. And so after that,
I love my dad more than anything up here.
I know you love your daddy. So I was working at Shoe Carnival, and my methamphetamine use got really bad, you guys. I actually moved out of my parents' house because they kicked me out, and I moved in with this guy named Nate. And no, he's not named after, my son is not named after him. Actually, I had totally forgot about him when we ended up naming my son. My son's name is Nathaniel, and this guy's name was Nathan.
Oh, yeah, like Nathan. I like to play with, and you always shoot me with Nerf guns.
Yes.
And it's kind of fun.
Okay. So go play your game, son. So I ended up moving in with Nathan, and Nathan was actually a dope cook. So he cooked it at his house. Like, I'm talking like full-fledged meth lab, you guys. And that's when everything in my life changed. That's when I started IV drug use. And I'm going to stop right there in the story and just tell you guys, like, I started shooting meth, okay? I started shooting meth. I was still working at and I'm going to tell you guys this, and please, trigger warning, okay? When I started shooting methamphetamine, you guys, it took over my soul. It changed everything about me. When I shot up methamphetamine, it made me feel like I was superwoman, okay? When I shot up methamphetamine, the feeling that it gave me, I'll be completely transparent with you guys right now. The first time I ever injected methamphetamine into my veins, it made me have an orgasm. And I know my son's not in the room, so don't worry. I know that's a lot to say on a video, but that's what it did to me. And that's why I was so addicted to it. Because the way it made me feel was so euphoric. The feeling it gave me was so strong that I never wanted that feeling to stop. I wanted to get it over and over and over and over again. And after I shot up that first time, I locked myself in the bathroom that night, and I sat on the floor, and I shot up over and over and over again. I shot up water. I shot up anything I could scrape off the spoon. It was disgusting, and I stayed locked in that room. I was chasing that high for the rest of my life until I got sober, because I never got that feeling again. Never like that first time, but I chased it for 10 years, 15 years. So I'm you guys there and let y'all know that that's what it got to at that time, but still my addiction got worse. It progressed past that. And if you think, oh, how can you get any worse than shooting up? Honey, believe me, it can get worse. And it did. Way worse. God, it got so bad, you guys. It got so bad. It got to the point where I would do Let's just say that. And I will share more with you guys on Wednesday when I upload that video, because I just kind of wanted to get you guys started on where I'm going with this new series on Wednesdays. So I will share with you guys on Wednesday what happened after I did that. And then we'll just, each Wednesday, I'll tell you guys more and more and more and more. And, you know, I have so many story times on here on my channel, you guys. If you haven't watched them, like, you seriously need to go watch these story times, because first of all, you're going to laugh your ass off at a lot of the stories I have, because they're so damn crazy, because I was so damn high. And you're probably going to think, this bitch was so, like, nobody wanted to be around me, you guys, because I was such a liability, because I got so high and so fucked up that I would hallucinate and call the police on myself, and oh, it was crazy. So please, if you haven't already, go there and watch those storytime videos and tell me what you guys think. But you know, I tell you guys these stories not because I'm proud of anything I did in my active addiction. I'm not proud of any of that shit. I tell you guys these stories because, one, I know a lot of you can relate to me. Two, it helps me. And three, I know by sharing my story with other people, it helps other people. I know, because I used to listen to other people's stories, and I still do, and it still helps me stay sober. And I love being able to connect with other addicts and alcoholics, know people that are in recovery, and that's why I made this channel. So if you guys know anybody that's in active addiction or is in recovery that wants to come hang out with us, bring them on over. Bring them on over. You know, I'm working really hard on trying to collaborate with other people that are in recovery here on YouTube. So if you have anybody you want me to do videos with, let that person know and let me know, and we'll make it happen. But I love you guys so much, and you all mean so much to me, and I'm just so grateful to have you guys in my life, and to be able to tell you guys these stories and look back on my life back then and realize, hey, that's not the person I am anymore. You know, I'm a new person. I've changed. And today I can help spread a message of recovery and hope, and help other people know that they're not alone. You know, and that's the blessing in this, all the stories that I tell you guys. The blessing is that today I'm sober. Today I have my son back. Today I have a job. Today I have my husband. Today I'm not pawning my wedding rings for a $40 crack rock. You know, today I'm living this life. And other people in Alcoholics Anonymous and Medically Assisted Recovery Anonymous, Mara, that has really, really helped me. And you guys can do this too. And we all can do this. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to do. And when we get sober and we start changing our lives, you guys, we have to, hey Cindy, we have to tell other people about it to encourage them to change their lives, because that's what happened to me. I watched other people, their stories. I listened to other addicts share with me about how they got sober, and I look at them and I would think, how could they do that? How could they ever stop? I'll never be able to do that. But I would listen, I would hear them, and I would have hope. I would think, maybe I could do that. Maybe I'll be like those people one day. Maybe I'll be able to, you know, spread my message and let people know that that recovery is possible, right? But I never thought it would be me. Like, I thought maybe, but not, I didn't have any love for myself. I didn't have any confidence in myself. And because of recovery, I have been able to change my life and build my love up for myself, and build my recovery and build my confidence up. So now I gotta go. Somebody's at my front door. I love you guys.